only like 25 to 30% of men are actually married. So going back to what Anton was talking about before, if you want to solve for the majority, the women need to have a conversation about which women are allowing the men to reproduce with them. And it's the men that they raise, the men that they
You are
complain.
wasting your breath. You're not gonna talk no sense into these women.
I do agree with that, Victor, but yeah, I think that is
Was I just talking? The fuck is
sorry,
that?
Anton. Excuse me.
No, you go. You got it. Go ahead.
Well, I
You've
was
been
just
making,
gonna say,
you've been making a lot of sense over the last 40 minutes. Go ahead.
So
Make it
so what's the solution between, like, what's the collective solution that women have to come to terms with and agree about first, that deals with the men that they choose that fit into this demographic? Because you can't blame the men that you're not attracted to. You can't blame the men that you don't have sex with. You can't blame the men that you didn't marry, or the men that you can't attract or don't want you, right? So which men are the issue? That's the problem. And where do they come from, and who's raising them, and who's giving them their education on sexual discipline, like what Izzy was talking about before. That is the source. That's the first conversation. You got to do a process of elimination and get the people out of it that's not reproducing the issue.
That nigga got a point.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ron, back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. And by the time you guys see this, I should be landing in Colombia, so expect the background to be different going forward after today's content. Now, I'm going to be reacting to another video from Anton Daniels that was sent to me by a subscriber, and I just want to say I'm actually surprised at the number of people that watch me also watch his content as well, because I know not everybody is an Anton Daniels fan, and I can understand that. But in this case, in this particular topic right here, I definitely want to dive in and hear what he has to say, as well as everybody else on the panel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into
Issue.
And you're
So
trying to talk some sense into people that don't give a fuck, bro.
If
So-
100% of women said no,
These women
but-
are creatures of habit. All they know is dick. That's it.
I don't know what he's talking about, but what I'll say is
Y'all
you
keep
should marry
trying to
before
make
you
this more
carry. You
complicated
should
than
marry
it
before you
really
carry. That's
is.
the solution.
Y'all trying to make this more complicated than it really is. The fact of the matter is they can't help themselves.
What are you talking about?
They can't help themselves. It just is what it is. You can talk all, bruh, let them eat themselves. Y'all keep trying to convince them, hey, process of elimination, E equal MC squared. The slope is rise over run. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't got no rules when it comes to the men that they want to fuck.
there are a lot of women that are
Ain't
taking.
no rules. There are no rules for the men that they like.
Victor,
They-
the question you asked me the
And
question.
all of this shit.
But what about the
Ain't no
men that have
standards for
multiple
the
baby
men that they
mamas
like.
and
The
then
only
pick one woman
standards
to marry?
the only standards are for men that they settle for. That's it. The ones that they feel like they're privileged to give it to. It's the ones that they yearn for it from, and it's the ones that they feel like they're good enough to give it to. That's it, bro. That's the real equation. It's not a complicated mathematical equation. The real equation is the reason why there's a minority of men getting a majority of women pregnant. The reason why they don't require for them to wear rubber is because those guys, but they blow the standards out the water. There are no more standards. It just is what it is. They can't wait to get pregnant. They can't wait to have a real one's baby. That's it.
He ain't lying.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
I agree with Anton 1000% on this. And I've said this before. If women had the same requirements for those men as opposed to the men that they really don't like they really don't care for too much, but they know that are good for them, trust me, a lot of those men would not be having kids. A lot of those men probably wouldn't even be getting sex like that for real. But once again, this is when women tend to throw logic all out the window, because it's almost like they forget that they're the ones that control access to sex, and until they end up becoming a single mom. But Yeah, let's continue.
Well, in the Black community, I will say this. I've been hearing this conversation since I was in middle school, that women, especially in the Black community, I don't know about any other community, will have a man's baby, especially if he already has baby mamas and stuff, will do so because he's tall, he has good genetics, facial symmetry, and
I don't even know what symmetry means.
and well endowed.
I'm just shocked to finally hear a woman admit this. I've been saying this for years. I was saying this before I even started a YouTube channel. There are women out here that will have a man's baby simply because he's well endowed. I think this is the first time I've ever heard a woman admit this. All the other stuff she mentioned, we always knew that. But I think this is the first time I ever heard a woman admit we'll have a man's baby just because he's well endowed. I've been saying this for the longest, but I guess it's kind of hard for people to comprehend because honestly, I think most women will not admit this. So it's just refreshing to hear a woman admit that because I've been thinking this for the longest, and I've said it a few times on this channel. Maybe it probably skipped over a couple people's heads, but it is what it is, man. But at least she kept it a buck. I'll give her that.
Sometimes
Girl,
Y'all
you take your pregnancy in
y'all
middle
don't
school.
even know what
I'm
symmetry
just
means.
giving you what I
The last woman that I asked that was trying to talk symmetry, she was trying to copy off my motherfucking paper in class. Y'all don't even take math. Like y'all don't know. It ain't that complicated. It ain't that complicated. Y'all busting it down for a real one. You busting it down for money. You busting it down for clout. You busting it down because you just like to bust it down.
it's desperation too.
So, fellas,
In the
here's the thing.
conversation
Here's
of
the thing. This is
financials,
what we gonna
it
have
says
to
that
do.
married couples make
We got to get
$113,000
back
a
to
year
the
on
core.
average.
We got to get back to
So
the
if you
core.
get married,
We got to
then
get
you
back to the
you have
core,
to support a
fellas,
child.
of separating the haves and the have-nots. All right.
If you live within your means as a married couple, you should be
We
able to
have to
support a
make
child.
sure that we separate the haves and the have-nots. There was a time where we understood that that woman is a hoe over there and that woman is a wife over there. All right. So fuck they little equations, fuck the whatever it is that they talking about. You just gonna have to be able to have dick discipline with the right type of women or with the wrong type of women, and then be able to do what you're gonna have to do, whatever
What
it
does
is.
big discipline look like, Anton? I don't think I've actually ever heard anyone expand on what the benefits and what the action of having big discipline looks like and how that aids in us not having these issues, especially within the Black community with a bunch of single mothers. Like, what does a big discipline do?
So, for
I wrote a book
example,
on it.
I think that too many guys are dealing with dusty bitches. So, for
Why?
example, the fact that we even date down is a problem. That means that we dealing with low IQ women that don't have as
Low
much to
level
lose.
learners.
We dealing with low IQ women that don't have as much as lose as us. But because there's so much access when you get to a certain level in life, then a lot of times they allow that to cloud their judgment instead of making an informed decision. And now we in a space to where a lot of times we kind of confusing a chick that's bad and not being able to say, yeah, she bad, but she for all of us, versus a chick that is a good mother. You know what I'm saying? So having big discipline, number one, is first not dealing with low level chicks. All right. Just because you can have them don't mean that they should even be around us. And I ain't even talking about the sex part yet. It's certain women that should not even be in your sphere. They lower your value. They make you look bad. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it's a cop out for men to say, you know what, I know she's easy, I know she won't hold me to a standard? Like, they have an option over here, a woman, that has her life together, has things in order, is goal oriented, but doesn't have any attraction to her, and it
We
sees a
don't
woman.
care about your goals. We don't.
No, well, you know what I mean. A wife material. Let me just put it this way: wife material. Okay.
Y'all don't even know. Hold on,
Who's
listen.
considered a bad bitch? Well, let me.
You're asking a question. You're asking a question that's not even relevant because
I think so.
most of y'all
already deem as low value.
Most women today don't qualify for a wife. They don't qualify to be a wife.
I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that.
The problem with the industry today is that we are stuffing square pegs and round holes. we are promoting marriage, but we're not promoting the foundation of what make you a wife in the first place. And that's the problem. We keep saying just get married and marry before you carry, but we didn't set, it's too many households that's being raised and women don't even know how to carry themselves as wives. So that's what I'm
Women,
saying. We're looking at low level women. We're marrying low level women when we do get married because we wind up settling for women that don't qualify for where we going. They don't even deserve to be in our presence a lot of times, but we settle for them because a lot of times it's a lot of reasons. Society tell us that's what we supposed to do. We just supposed to rock with them, so on and so forth. But a lot of these women, honestly, they don't qualify to be with the type of man that they say that they want to be with.
And in my opinion, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of women are being raised to know what to expect from a man, but not to give that man or know what that man wants or know what the type of man that they want, what he wants. I think that's what the problem is. Because if you go like on panels like this or whatever podcast, Fresh and Fit, whatever you like to watch, one of the common things that I see is when you ask a woman what she wants in a man, bro, she can rip off characteristic after, I mean, everything. But Kevin Samuels said it best. You ask a woman what a man wants, she can put it on. What he said, he could fit it on a postage stamp, something like that. I forgot, but that I remember that shit was funny as hell. But I think that's the problem. That I think that's where it really starts at. And in some cases, they'll get triggered just for you asking.
I gotta
I
And then a
say,
lot of
I
those
just
women are
want to like bring
advertising
this back
themselves on
to
social
the.
media.
Sorry, let me just say this real quick. I just want to bring this back to the question about financial struggling people having kids. So this is like I'm gonna assume it's between two couples. So if you know that you don't have the resources, I strongly believe that the man and the woman or whoever it is should come together and have a discussion about family planning. And I think that that's a lot of things that people don't think about. They just if you ask a lot of women or men, they always say that, oh, it wasn't planned. I didn't plan to have a kid at this age. So I think that it all boils down to family planning. If you know that you don't have the resources, and like someone said here about their grandma saying that there was nothing else to do. Well, in this day and age, and I feel like even in the US, there is you can get a job if there's nothing else to do, you should get a job. If you want to have three, four, five jobs, just so that you can be busy and you can build up your money, you can build your money up, or you can get resources. You should be finding something to do. There is ways that you can go to school. There is so many things that you can use with your time than just having sex. So family planning definitely is something that people need to circle back to. Financial people just sitting at home just waiting for handouts or whatever it is they're waiting for, and then being bored and humping and having all these babies because they know they're gonna get taxes and get money back. That's a crazy concept to me. So I feel like they should definitely start learning family planning. They should definitely be going to school. They should definitely be getting jobs. There's a lot of job opportunities in the US. And I feel like once people start getting jobs, start getting paid, have a bank account, save money and everything else, you will be able to at least be financially stable to have, I mean, you can have three, four, five kids. You can have those kids with assistance from the government. You don't just have to get a handout from the government completely. You need assistance, yes, but you also need to have sufficient amount of funds to be able to raise those babies that you're having. So
But,
that's just my
but the
answer.
thing is,
You know what? She actually kind of makes a valid point. I think this is one of the reasons why there was such an uproar about uh, assistance being taken away, because I think that incentivizes women to have children no matter what their financial situation is. And if you were to eliminate that, then chances are women are going to be a little bit more selective and a little bit smarter about who they have children with or even when they want to have children. Because now that you don't have that safety net, you actually got to, like my boy Scarface Mark said, you actually got to get out in the field and get it, bro. So I kind of agree with that. Let's keep it moving.
As soon as, but Izzy, you make a point, Izzy. But as soon as the woman thinks like, even though it's not usually logical, that she posts a picture on Instagram, busting it wide open, and then dudes just say, "Okay, no, I don't take her seriously no more," and then dudes just run in to get a piece of it, and all that stuff that they were talking about, all that logical stuff that they were trying for a few minutes, is all out the window because a lot. Like Anton said, a lot of people advertise. They might say all this stuff, but they advertise one night stands on social media. So even though people
Y'all
are
just
thinking like
gotta
this, they
stop
advertise
dealing
one night
with these
stands.
low level chicks, bro. Like
This is
They
why I
know
talk.
I think that
it's
95% of these women out here that y'all dealing with is low level.
they love it,
This is why I
Anton.
talk to
They
men.
love it.
This
low
is
level,
They love it. I hate
this
to tell
this
you
is
this,
why
but they love it.
deal with.
They won't leave them
this is why
alone.
this is why I talk to men about this, right? I got a phrase that I tell men on my coaching calls. I tell them, I say, if you don't come from her or you don't come in her, then she can't do nothing but work for you or twerk for you. It literally ain't no in between. These women will make a baby with the wrong man before they make a sandwich for the right one.
Bang, bang.
That was a bar. Damn, I gotta remember that one.
So you can't expect her to have the same level of accountability that you have to have as a man, because if you're relying on her to do what she's doing, then you have the accountability of a woman, because that means you're downplaying yourself, like Anton said, with lower grade women, and you're going to reproduce low level learners. You know what I'm saying? Because you come from the same
I
cloth.
see a lot more low level men having kids with high level women.
Because they already, the low level men are raised by low level women. You
But
can't
how's
have
that
sex with
high-level
somebody
woman,
that's
though?
better than you.
How's that high level
Huh?
woman if she's busting it down for a dusty dude? How's that high level
Well,
woman?
that's
What do
the
you
point.
mean by
All of
busting
these
it
people,
down? What does that mean?
all of,
Meaning,
like Flowers.
you
Let me
could
say
be,
this.
you could.
Let me say this,
Okay, go
Flowers.
ahead,
Let
bro.
me say this. All of these men and women that we keep talking about that keep reproducing with each other are all raised the same way. They all come from the single parent structure. It's not the onus on the married couples. It's not the onus on the men that don't have children. The women can only blame the men that they had sex with. It's not every other man that's out there. If you're not attracted to the guy and you didn't make your baby with him, then you need to deal with the type of men that you attract, that you allow, and that you enable to keep reproducing with. That's it. Because if men were running around here committing sexual assault and then impregnating women against their will, then this conversation would be way different. You know what I'm saying? But the type of men that keep getting discussed are the weakest men that are raised by the worst women. That's why if you look at the prison population as a sample size, those men come from the same type of home structure.
And a good example is the video that I just covered the other day of Kendra G when that man came on, had 4 kids with one on the way, recently got out of jail on a RICO case. Perfect example. And he's a Pookie. Let's be 100. He is Pookie and Ray Ray. But women keep reproducing with him. And the woman that he had pregnant was supposedly his wife. I mean, I'm just saying, what y'all want men to do? Y'all the ones that whoever those 4 other women, including the woman that he was with, and I guarantee you, it's probably one of those 4 reasons that you heard the other chick why those women keep reproducing with him, even though he has children by the other women.
The women that produce them have the same type of behavior, attitude, and a lack of respect for a male-led household. They don't even
What
respect
age
you.
do these men grow up? What age do these men grow up? Like, we are
They
tired.
don't.
We are bored of the single
They
women.
don't grow up.
They
That's
have
the
to.
point. They have to, but that's not reality. That's the
So
point.
how we hold them accountable, Victor, if you know that they are
They have to be held accountable.
You hold them
because
accountable.
you're
You
literally
hold them
55 years
accountable by
old
not reproducing
crying
with
about
them.
a child
You
who's
hold them
trying to
accountable.
with pussy. Like,
You
come on.
hold them accountable by not putting yourself in a vulnerable position to reproduce
and
with
not
them.
having sex with them.
I do agree with that
No, you
aspect.
hold yourself
but
accountable by growing up when you turn 18 and
You can't
actually
expect
learning and
people.
becoming a better person.
You can't expect people that's poorly raised to correct themselves as fast as other people that's been raised with different culture. You can't.
I can
Their
definitely
culture is
Are you
more
trying
sexual
to convince
I
discipline.
women,
definitely expect people to do
bruh?
that.
bruh, you are
That's how
trying
you
to
hold yourself
convince
accountable.
women en masse that are waiting. Bruh, have y'all ever seen some of them shows where women are literally going to seek men that are in prison? What are y'all
Yeah.
doing? Y'all trying to. Women are dumb, honestly.
Man, yo, it's interesting to see that I'm not the only man saying that on YouTube now. Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, I'm trying to remember. He made, damn, Anton just made me think of that. I forgot what it was. It was a woman who literally only dates women from jail, and she was saying how she can like piece them together and all this other shit. I mean, and this was a successful black woman at that. Bruh, these women are more loyal to a man in jail than they are a truck driver. Y'all let me know what you thought about this, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm and helps to reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel blog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.